It is big, and what we're seeing here is the erosion or complete collapse of the risk premium. So when we were
is it OPEC? Is it global growth? What's the big driver?
It's the fact that a month ago we thought that we were going to get major Iranian sanctions and lose 1 million barrels a day, and the outlook for demand was that much better. The relationship between demand growth and spare capacity was very, very tight. If we lost Iran, it was even more extreme. And in the past month, what we've seen is no sanctions effectively on Iran, or no additional sanctions from an oil point of view. And of course, the whole Khashoggi story, which today I think was a part of the story insofar as Donald Trump came out and backed the Crown Prince, which tends to take some of the Saudi risk out of the equation as well.
But I'm interested that takes the Saudi risk out of the equation. I mean, surely possibility of regime change, which is offset by the president's comments, would be bad for oil. You're saying that the latest developments are, look, regardless of how damning some of these reports people are seeing are, that President Trump doesn't want to change it, but a lot of Europeans do.
Yeah, well, I think basically $20-25 was Iran risk, right? So that's the big element. The second element, which is sort of an ongoing thing, is the Saudi thing. And you know, it's just notable that today oil's decline accelerated with Trump's pro-MBS, or at least neutral MBS comments.
Isn't the idea that Trump's pro-MBS comments could lead OPEC not to cut production because President Trump doesn't want them to cut production, and he's been very vocal about that? I
think it's more the regime change risk. I mean, if we get regime change in Saudi, it's going to be very disruptive potentially. I'm surprised the market doesn't think Saudi will cut. I think they've stated that they will, but I think it is contingent on other members and Russia cutting. So there is still risk there. Having said that, the Russians have pretty much said they're on board, or at least they're being supportive towards supporting OPEC. So I think we'll get cuts. I'm surprised that we've seen such a downdraft today, for sure.
Paul, one of the things that I guess a lot of people say, despite the oil price weakness of the big oil majors, is they've got strong balance sheets, so they can kind of weather the current storm. On that point, Exxon, with a relatively strong balance sheet, you've done some work to look at whether they could swoop in for GE, which is, I guess, in a different situation.
No, I think it was just a conceptual idea that, 15 years ago I was covering Exxon, was the biggest stock in the market, and was duking it out with GE. And obviously you know the story of what's happened to GE. Exxon's not been great, but GE's been truly a disaster. And it did strike me that GE's work in alternative energy and other elements of the energy chain would actually fit with Exxon if they wanted to do a big deal. I think it's a very left of field idea. That's my right hand, a very left of field idea.
That's right, to the viewer that worked.
Yeah, but we just threw it out there this morning as something that, I think there's a couple of positives for oil. Firstly, the spot price has come down a ton, but the back of the curve has not moved a lot at all. So we've seen a move like this, and we're actually at a very flat curve. Secondly, the equity price performance means we can get activism and we can get M&A. And so really we're throwing out ideas there for who can merge with who can buy who. Can we get some activity on the M&A front in oil, which is really, frankly, what we need. We need these companies to lower their costs and raise their returns.
What's the highest conviction M&A deal that you're throwing out there?
Well, I think Exxon to buy something in the Permian is something that's pretty well established across the news wires. I can't start rumors, so I'll be very careful what I say right here. Further mergers within the Permian would make a lot of sense. You still haven't optimized that. We saw another deal yesterday. I think they'll continue. Those are the big ideas, and certainly the absolute disaster in Canada that's going on right now would surely lead to some more consolidation there.